Okay, we're on to part 2 of the tutorial. You can see that the tiger has been cut out, and we have saved him as a TIFF with our transparency saved. So we can go back to our jungle composition. I can see it here on my tab up here. It depends whether you closed it or not. If you did, you might need to actually open it again. Okay, so I'm going to file and place embedded, and I'm going to place in the tiger cutout. Okay, so he needs to be resized. I'm going to drag from the corners inwards, and I'll make him even a little bit smaller, like something more like that. Okay, and when you're happy, press enter. And I'm going to zoom right in, so Control plus, so I can see what's going on here. Now you can see there is a little bit of green grass here, but to be honest, I think we could probably add a little drop shadow and it might take the attention away from that. The sun is coming from behind him, so you can probably remember we did a tutorial recently where you could either make a shape underneath him, you can try that, or we can also try the drop shadow. So first of all, we'll rasterize the tiger. So right click on the tiger cutout and rasterize. Okay, and then we'll double click on the layer so that we can in turn create a little drop shadow underneath. So you'll go to drop shadow at the bottom. As I always say, don't press the plus and don't just tick on the tick box. You need to actually highlight it so that you can get all the options up on the screen. I usually put the angle at, like in this scenario, kind of 90 degrees, because the sun seems to be coming directly from behind him, so the shadow will be underneath him. So actually the settings that I have here now, if I turn on and off my preview, they're actually not bad. I know you can see some green around his face here, and we can try and sort that out later on. But I have the distance at kind of 23. The spread, you can take that in or you can bring it out further, whatever you want, and the size. So you can see it is making small changes there on my screen. You will just need to play around with the settings, and you can kind of bring up the opacity if you want a little bit too. So I kind of have mine around 50 there. Yeah, the global light just doesn't seem to make any difference in our case. So you can kind of turn on and off your preview, and it'll definitely make a difference. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to play around with the baby. So you're going to Control and O, or File and Open, and you're going to choose the little girl. Okay, she's beautiful. She's not mine. She's beautiful. I got her off Pexels. So we have full permission to edit this image or use it for this use. Okay, so I'm going to unlock the layer. So double click on the background layer and press OK. Okay, so the layer is unlocked and ready for editing. Okay, we're going to do our quick mask again. So quick mask mode, just here on the left hand side, it's activated. Now you can even see quick mask is up on the screen. Okay, so the next step is always to get your brush, and always make sure that your colors are black in front, white behind. And when I come over here, I see the brush. I'm going to make the brush a little bit bigger because the less time spent kind of going around the center of the body, the better. So as I said, your color might be different, don't worry. You can also play around with the softness or the hardness of the brush. If you come down here, it's going to be very soft, but it will need a level of hardness just for getting it right. So I'm going to do something like this. Okay, so even smaller parts of the body, then I reduce the size of the brush just by right clicking. Try and be in her little bow. And I know with hair is a nightmare. No matter what you do in Photoshop, it's very hard to get the hair thing. I think we'll be leaving behind these strands of hair here to to get her ear, so we'll bring it right down in size, more like. Okay, back up, bigger brush here, bigger again even. Might even go bigger again. Too big. So maybe you could create a photo like this for some of your own family. I mean, I never do these things and it's a pity. I see a lot actually this done with Christmas scenes with reindeers and everything. And I mean, when I think to myself, if I had some nice pictures of the children, it would be lovely. But they always say that if you know how to do it yourself, you're the last person to do it. You prefer to pay someone else to do it. Or just not do it at all in my case. But they're cool. They're cool. Maybe you could do these for your family if they've nice professional photographs. So it takes a while, there's no doubt. So you will have to probably keep resizing your brush just to get it right. Right click every time. And then you need to right click on the actual canvas, not on the space outside of the baby, will say, I mean the picture. If you make a mistake, if you do this, just change your black to white color. Like so. You can kind of, it's like as if you're painting it back in. Little pickies. Don't know what I'm doing here, if it's right, but anyway, we'll see. The thing is, we're not going to be looking very closely at the baby, so I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world if there's a little bit of inconsistency. Now, almost there. Okay, I'm happy, I think. Actually, her dress over here, you're probably spotting things that I'm doing wrong or missing out, but anyway, whoops, I've gone over there, so I'm going to Control plus zoom in and just get this. Okay, that's that. She's, sorry now, I could keep going. Oh, wrong. I could keep going here. And the thing is, the feet are going to be somewhat important because they're kind of going to be at the forefront of the image. So I'm going to try and get those as right as I can. Okay, so quick mask again, press it. We've got this, and I'm going to hit delete. So Control D to deselect. So I think she's okay. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crop and crop. Press enter. Okay. Now I've just noticed, I'm going to undo something here, because I've just noticed there are aspects of her that are somewhat transparent. So I'm going to go back on this. Sorry. There we go. I'm going to go back and get my brush. And I see my opacity is 85%. I want to bring that right up to 100 because I see there are parts that are slightly opaque, we'll say, when I do. And it's just to do with the amount of times you press on. So I'm just going to go back over some bits. Now that should be okay. Back with the quick mask mode, delete, and and crop. Okay, and I'm going to save our file, save as, little girl, I'm going to say little girl cut out, and save her as a TIFF. Save transparency, okay, and okay.